honourable member for Calgary Southeast.
TransAlta recently announced that it would be speeding up the conversion of some of their coal-fired plants to natural gas. Specifically, some of the Sundance and Keephills units will be converted or retired up to 2 years sooner than previously estimated. While this might seem like a win for the NDP, it's certainly not a win for Alberta's coal communities like Parkland County, which is looking at nearly $6 million loss from their tax revenue due to the early shutdown. To the Minister of Economic Development and Trade, what are you doing to offset the loss to Parkland County and the similar losses that all communities can expect?
Minister of Environment.
Well, oh, you got it? Oh, okay, sorry. Sorry, Mr. Speaker, I'm short, and sometimes I don't see my comments. But thank you to the honourable member for the question. And of course, his own leader, Mr. Kenney, voted to phase out 12 of the 16 coal plants, Mr. Speaker, as did the leader of the official opposition, Mr. Speaker, with no plan for what might happen to those communities. Our side of the House has taken a different approach. We are engaging with coal communities. We ensured we got the right regulatory change with respect to natural gas conversion, Mr. Speaker, and we're going to make sure we invest in those communities where they were ignored by the PCs and the Wildrose.
First supplemental.
Respectfully, Minister, that $6 million this year is likely the cut to frontline services for that community. Given that the Minister has spoken about the opportunities for the export of thermal coal to other jurisdictions, and given the further opportunity to export Alberta's high-grade metallurgical coal, and given that much of the impact of the coal communities will be felt through the loss of good mortgage-paying mining jobs, to the same Minister, will you commit to doing everything in your power to ensure that thermal coal mines in these communities remain open, and will you work to reduce the barriers currently stopping new metallurgical coal mines from opening?
Honourable Minister.
Well, thank you, Mr. Speaker. And of course, the plan that we put forward so that generators could convert their plants to natural gas and keep investing in communities and workers had to do with the plants and not the thermal coal mines, Mr. Speaker. And of course, we went to Ottawa, our side of the House did, with a plan, and we were able to negotiate a 15-year exemption for coal plants that convert to natural gas, Mr. Speaker. And that means Alberta natural gas will be burned at Alberta plants and that are run by Alberta workers, Mr. Speaker. We have the best interests of those communities in mind. They were ignored by the PCs and the Wildrose.
Second supplemental.
Given that my discussions with the mayors of the various coal communities, a common concern has been that their well-being of their communities doesn't seem to be a top priority for this government. And given that the current environment around the uncertainty and the future of the coal industry, including the early forced shutdown, and the intent of the BC government to levy an additional tax on export of thermal coal. To the same Minister, respectfully, Minister, these communities have expressed they've heard more about free light bulbs than their successful transition. Minister, will you demonstrate to these communities that their families, their future is more important than free light bulbs?
The Honourable Minister of the Environment.
Well, thank you, Mr. Speaker. And of course, the best interest of the communities that were ignored by the PCs and the Wildrose, Mr. Speaker, when both the leader of the Wildrose and the leader of the PCs voted to shut down 12 of those 18 plants, Mr. Speaker, our approach has been a little bit different. And here's what the CEO, for example, of TransAlta has to say about that. We've been very public about the benefit of these conversions. Quote, these are low-cost investments that will lengthen the average life of our coal fleet by up to 15 years. This ensures, Mr. Speaker, keep our workers working, according to the CEO of TransAlta, keep those communities strong to be able to provide capacity to the system as we go through decades, Mr.
Thank you, Honourable Minister.